Good morning again, guys. Today, I guess you're gonna get a 2-for-1 special. As y'all can see, I'm in the city for the day, so it gives me a little time to make a couple of videos. Because as I've said in the past on my other videos, we are crazy busy around the farm, around the homestead, trying to get things done. And that's the point of my video today, guys. I'm going to tell you 10 or so things here that are happening that are not necessarily reported a lot in the news or talked about. And I think there are 10 pretty important things going on that should be signaling to you need to be getting your things in order and getting things taken care of. I'm not going to try and make the video too long or too in depth, but you can easily Google search all of these items and see for yourself what's actually going on. Now, not to be fear-mongering, because I have been called a fear-monger, but these are all facts. And if the things are happening, like I said, it should be a signal to you to realize what is happening around the world. So, first off, a couple of weeks ago, I'm sure many of you know the Vatican recalled all of its assets, liquid assets, bank assets, from around the world, all right? Now, when you're talking an entity that is that size with that much money and that much assets, to move those assets around to a central location, for what reason? That is a big signal, guys. Watch the elites. When things start moving around like that, you can expect big things are fixing to happen. You do not move those kind of assets around for no reason, all right? Gold plays right in with that. The gold reserves and gold vaults around the world have indicated that up to 40% of the gold has been removed from those vaults. And these are not people like me and you that have 1, 2, or 10 ounces at home, all right? These are mass amounts, quantities of gold. We're talking tons of gold have been removed. And people are keeping this stuff in their hand, in their home, at their location, their bug out, their, tomb, whatever it is, wherever they're keeping it. They are removing it from the vaults and getting it in their hands. That should be another signal to you that the elites are moving things around, and your situational awareness should be, antennas should be up. All of this stuff is happening, guys, in the next, 19 to 20 days, all right? At the end of the month, September the 30th, Germany is actually going to start patrolling their streets again with the military. You can look it up. We all know what happened the last time the military patrolled the streets in Germany. I don't have to bring up too much history for you to remember that. But it's supposed to start October the 1st, guys. That coincides with most of the mask mandates and vaccine mandates coming back into play. I know many of you thought all of that was over. Those shenanigans have only begun, guys. I told you months ago that was not over. It would all be coming back with the lockdowns and everything. Around September the 30th, October 1st, guys, they go back into effect, okay? Also around that time, September 30th, October 1st, many countries, corporations, businesses, and people go on to the Cashless Society program, all right? They are doing away with a lot of the cash. They are in beta testing now for the, the digital coin, the digital currency. It's all in beta testing. And October 1st, a lot of that actually takes effect. A lot of companies, countries, etc. around the world go on to the system. All right, and we're going to be heading toward that cashless system. I can't express to you enough how bad this is going to be. If you think you're under the boot of tyranny right now, just wait until it starts going cashless. Many of the banks overseas right now and several of the banks here in the U.S. are not going to be handing out cash after September the 30th or October the 1st. You will have to go to an ATM machine to remove that cash, and as many of you know, there are limits applied at those ATM machines. You will not be able to go into the bank and withdraw any large sum of cash. The tellers just won't be there. Everything is going to be automated. That also coincides with the 20 and 50 pound bills being recalled over in Europe and Britain, I believe. After September the 30th, the 20 pound and the 50 pound bill will have no value. They are being replaced with a plastic type bill which has a microchip in it, easily trackable. Y'all have all heard that the rails are having their problems, their disputes with the unions. Expect railway problems in the next 48 hours. How many of you are keeping up with the war front over in Ukraine? The whole problem that I have with that situation over there, other than the fact that the American taxpayers are funding it, is for the last 50 years in the Cold War, our government has bilked us for trillions and trillions of dollars in the military-industrial complex. All for the big bad Russian military. Now, for the last 6 months, we have seen the big bad Russian military take on a very small country of civilians, which have been integrated with fancy munitions from us that we pay for, okay, which has allowed them to fight Russia. I do not believe for a second that the full force of the Russian military has been used at all in that conflict, but it is heating up over there, guys. There are things happening. We won't get into it, but the conflict over there is far from over. It's just getting started, and expect it to escalate very quickly. Fuel. I know you've all heard about the problems over in Europe with the gas, the fuel, etc. All right, that situation is only going to become worse as the war continues and gets worse. We are sending supplies and fuel over to Europe, so only expect your fuel to get higher here and to be less of it. Mr. Biden has already been using our strategic oil reserves, selling that to China and other foreign countries, and sending it over to Europe. So expect your cost on all of your fuel, whether it be for your vehicle, your heating, electrical, energy, all of that stuff is going to be higher, guys. Reports coming out of Europe are that those bills are coming in 5 and 6 times higher than normal. So expect your energy bill, and I know many of you out there have already said that it's gone up twice as high as it was. We've seen it here. So expect that to get worse, guys, all right? The harvest and the food. All of the information that you have heard and seen about the food shortages are nothing up until this point, guys. We have been living off of the harvest for the last few years. And now that last year's harvest and this year's harvest have been affected, we're just now actually going to start seeing those effects. The food shortages are only going to get worse. That's why I've been telling you to prepare and stack it the best that you can. Those shortages are going to get worse. I don't care if you see your shelves full right now. In a matter of time, those shelves are going to be going bare. Get everything that you possibly can now, guys. The industry around the world is collapsing. The steel industry in Europe is decimated. The auto industry in America is decimated. Everything that you look at in the industrial world other than military is getting decimated with everything going on, whether it be labor, parts, supply line shortages, EPA regulations, the whole deal, guys. The industry around the world is shutting down. And If it's just now shutting down in the last couple of months, and we're really fixing to start seeing it coming up in these next few months, again, all culminating around October the 1st. The laws and the guns here in the United States. I said it before, guys, we are one of the last countries that have held out for all of this New World Order agenda, okay? They have forced the rest of the world to comply. Most of the rest of the world is going along with it. They are far ahead of us. Read the stories, whether it be, small countries already having food issues, people starving. I mean, it is a Venezuela incoming. I've been saying it the whole time. The whole thing is planned. It's all coming down. The dollar is going to crash. The economy is going to crash. The stock market is going to crash. All of that Bitcoin, digital currency, all of that stuff is going to go away, guys. It's going to be worthless. The same as your gold and silver. Okay? You better be stacking hard assets. Land that you can grow on, get water from, get food from, raise your family on. That is going to be your only survival possibility in this whole thing, guys. All right, everything is fixing to get harder. It's just the truth. And that was just 10 or 12 things right off the top of my head that are going to culminate in the next few weeks. All right, it's only going to get worse from that point. The October 1st Cashless Society thing, it's not going to be in full effect, guys, until next year, but they are moving that direction. Everything you purchase. People online are upset now about you're not going to be able to purchase guns or ammo or anything because of the credit card, backdoor. Everybody understands, sees what's going on. If you haven't taken care of those things by now, guys, you are in dire trouble. It's exactly why we put our channel up and tell you to prep and be ready. Stay safe out there, guys. It's 10 things. Look them up. They're all happening here pretty quick, and they're all going to have an effect on you. The signals are, things are happening. Things are moving fast. Can you see them? Stay safe out there, guys. Take care.